Hello everyone, up here climbing Mount Saint Helens again, but this time I'm here with my cousin Gracie.
Hello.
And we're up here early in the morning, got an early start at about 5 o'clock we hit the trail. Sun's just starting to come up. In the distance we have Hood, and then right over there we have Adams. And we're just getting onto the slope of the initial lava. Heading to the top of the flow. You can actually see stuff. Now we're getting up on top of the lava. That's the big andesite flow. Heading on down the mountain. You can still see Adams. Looks like you can see maybe Mount Bachelor over there too. Not sure which peak that is. Hood. Now we can finally see the summit of St. Helens, and then right over there is some kind of monitoring device. Making our way up. Right now you can see the shadow of the mountain over there, casting all the clouds inside the mountain. Still got a ways to go. Yeah. First peak across the lava flow to the sun absolutely blinded us. Was not expecting that. What a beautiful day. It's time to keep on going. Working our way up the flow. Got lots of boulders to get over.
Oh, for sure. I got the wobblies in my legs.
Sun's starting to get a little warm out here too. High for today 60, but that's at camp, so I'm not sure what it's going to be at the summit. There's the Hood, Mount Hood. Looks like the lonely mountain over there. Well, we just gotta keep climbing these boulders, and we're gonna take a break up Monitor Ridge, which is where the tripod's at with the GPS station, Earth scope. Yep. Up here at Monitor Ridge now. Took a little snack break. Got Adams. Getting really close to getting on top there. Yeah, I got here late last night. Didn't really get much sleep, but weather today was perfect. It was a bit rainy and wet yesterday. High for today at camp is about 64, so here at the summit it's probably going to be in the high 50s. As we were hiking higher in the morning before sunrise, there was a lot of frost actually too, so it's quite cool. But last time I was here, it was so smoky you couldn't really see anything down there, or hardly any of the mountains. Hood was very hard to see. Adams not so much. I mean, you could see it. Getting close to the summit though. Just gotta keep pushing. Yeah, this time around it's not as easy as I remember doing it in 2022. I am absolutely struggling. Getting passed by everybody. But the rim is right there, I think, so we're almost there. Well, finally made it to the tip of the rim. She beat me. Alright, let's see it. Oh yeah. This is way better than I remember. Wow. You can actually see stuff.
It's pretty sick.
There's the lava dome steaming away down there. It's actually steaming right there. It's steaming a little bit more than I remember last time I was here. Made it to the summit. Just had some lunch. There's been rocks coming down. Whole bunch of dikes over there. All right, now we're getting ready to head on down. It's a long ways. All right, down there's the lava that we climbed on. All right, so this brings us to the end of the video. I tried to get some closing video clips, but it seems that my camera did not record that. And I will admit, for whatever reason this time around, coming down the mountain, I was in a lot more pain and having a lot more difficulties than the last time I did this hike. I would do it again, but at the time I said never again. But anyways, this was the hike up Mount Saint Helens, and I just wanted to quickly talk about a few things before I close the video. So if you are interested in hiking Mount Saint Helens yourself, you will have to get a permit in advance, which can be purchased online, I believe, through the Forest Service website. Now the cost will go up if you have more people in your group, and I believe the max group size you can have is 12 because they want to restrict the amount of people on the mountain per day. And if you do go, hopefully you will have enough space to camp at the base camp, which is located here. So you can camp here at the base camp, and we woke up bright and early in the morning and began our hike through the forest, which initially is about 2 miles. And if I hold this little dude here on Google Earth, you will see where the trail begins. And if you actually want to, you can go right down on the trail in Google Earth and start looking at it for yourself. So here is the trail, and it's about 2 miles. It's a really nice clear trail minus some roots, and there are a couple tripping hazards, so if you go at night, make sure you have a really good headlamp or flashlight to light the way through the dark. Otherwise you will be tripping quite a lot. So the trail, it's having a hard time showing up because I do have Google Earth in 3D view, but the trail essentially takes you up to this tongue of a lava flow that came from Mount Saint Helens. And fun fact, actually most of base camp is built on top of a really old lava flow. I don't know if you can see the outline of it, but this is a tongue of a really old lava flow which has then been forested over. So base camp is actually located on an old lava flow, with these other ones being more recent. Obviously they're older than the 1980 eruption, but they're there. So the trail that we hiked on takes you right up to this tongue of the lava. And let's see if I put on my little Google Earth guy, he should be able to show where the trail's at. Maybe not, because I have it in 3D view. Oh, there it is. So that's about where you begin. So right about there is where you begin the actual journey onto the lava flow. And going up, I will say, is a lot easier than coming back down. And this section of the trail has quite a lot of bouldering. So you have to climb a good amount of boulders on this lava, which is a bit easier when you're going up, and it's a lot more difficult, I will say, when you're going down to avoid tripping. And you get past most of the boulders once you're about here, and this is where you begin to encounter the pumice fields of St. Helens. And then the final push up the mountain can be quite intense with the pumice. And I will say it is quite exhausting on the way back down. But it is definitely worth it for the view. So when you're standing on the summit of St. Helens, in the center here you have the central lava dome, which actually began to form in 1987, I believe it was, with the most recent additions being from 2004 to 2005. And the USGS has some really good videos on that if you want to look them up. I believe they're on YouTube. They have some time-lapse footage of the lava domes forming within the crater. On the crater itself, as seen in the video, you have some fumarole activity because it is still steaming to this day and letting gases out from the magma below, and thus why they have a monitoring station on the lava dome to track any changes in the gases, in the chemistry of the gases, or any temperature changes of the lava dome structure. Also, an additional thing is, Mount St. Helens, I believe, is the only mountain in the Cascades that has a growing glacier. And this is the crater glacier. If you can see my mouse here, the glacier is actually surrounding the lava dome, and then it's basically two separate glaciers almost, and then they kind of flow down and they connect at the base there. This glacier is mostly covered by rock falls because the crater of the volcano is very unstable, so if you do climb this mountain, you will likely hear and see multiple rock falls while you're at the summit. And a lot of that rock ends up covering the glacier, which actually helps prevent it from melting. Now those dikes that I pointed out in the video, they're actually located here. And this is something I did not notice on my first climb up. But we have some intrusive dikes into the volcano, and you can see there's some vertical ones as well as ones that are more, they're still vertical, but they're more horizontal. And you'll notice in Google Earth, it's kind of orangey here in color. However, in my video, it is mostly yellow, and that is because likely when these dikes injected into the volcano, there was also lots of hydrothermal fluid activity, and those hydrothermal fluids caused alteration of the volcanic rock. So all that yellow and orange is really strong hydrothermal alteration of the rock. So that's what you're seeing there. It's all kinds of hydrothermal fluids that got in there and started altering the rock in all kinds of different ways. You can also see here there's some more dikes that are actually intruding in the volcano. So this brings me to the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and it was a great hike, very scenic for climbing Mount St. Helens this year in 2025, unlike the last time I climbed in 2022, which was it was a very bad fire year and there was lots of wildfire smoke, so it was very hard to see anything at all. But this time around, we had clear skies and perfect weather conditions. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and until next time.